customers will have their paper.
Yeah, but can I tell you what street it is?
No, because
no, it's the M25.
see,
You are being paid £1,000.
Yes,
That may add
you got to deliver to the M25. I'll tell you what. Let's take the mood down a little bit and play one of the most beautiful songs I've been looking forward to getting. I'll just play this. To be honest, it's Jimmy Webb's version of Galveston. Galveston, there, by the brilliant Jimmy Webb. Who wrote it?
Who wrote it?
He wrote it.
Yes.
I mean, yeah. Brilliant Jimmy Webb. Who wrote it?
Yeah.
It was all one sentence.
Yes.
Did I confuse you?
Again, yeah.
With my speech patterns.
It's just using the English language is always helpful.
But compared to Carl, I'm Oscar Wilde, aren't I?
I suppose so.
Be afraid.
Electric Soft Parade on XFM 104.9. Not long to go on our a triumphant return. I think. I think the papers will be saying, Steve.
Yes. Yes.
Carl. I've met Carl a couple of times in our sabbatical, and he said to me once. He said, "Oysters." So I said, "Have you ever tried oysters?" I don't like them. And I went. He said, "Oh, it's just a thing about swallowing them whole." You know. He went, "Well, the reason you have to do that is just they're fatally poisonous, and if you bite into them, they kill you." And I went, "Well, of course they don't." He went, "Yeah." I went, "Well, of course they wouldn't." "What have you chewed on?" I said. He said, "No." I said, "Well, so you swallow them whole and they're not poisonous?" He went, "Yeah, see." He said, "So," he said, "when you swallow heroin in a Johnny," he says, "that doesn't kill you, does it?" That was it.
Oh.
And then about a week later, he went, "I was wrong about them." Yeah, I went, well, he said, yeah. And what did you say?
it's if you eat them and then you have some whiskey.
They turn deadly when whiskey comes into contact with them.
Yeah, when they've had a drink.
They get a bit rowdy in your stomach. They start fighting. They can cause hilarious.
So what are you saying now? Are you saying you don't believe that?
Am I saying what?
Are you saying you don't believe
Look,
that?
he thinks he's got us here. He thinks he's got us here. Yeah, I don't believe that if you eat an oyster, then drink some whiskey, you die.
You might not die straight away, but you won't.
Eventually, 50 years time.
If you've got to keep on drinking whiskey.
Yeah,
a bottle a day.
50 or 60 years later, he was dead. Yeah. Oyster and a bottle of whiskey a day. Oh, then out of nowhere, 40 years later.
Where does this information come from, Carl?
If some doctor called up now,
yeah,
and put you right, would you believe him?
If it wasn't Dr. Fox, yeah.
What about the airy lads growing up with the werewolves and that?
They didn't grow up with werewolves.
Grow up with werewolves.
You're confused about three
just
different
a genetic
stories,
mutation where they were born with very, very hirsute.
There were a couple of kids, yes.
They didn't grow up with wolves, and you can't kill them with a silver bullet. I mean, you're confusing two things.
There were some kids who were very, very hairy, yes.
Yeah.
They're in folklore. There were some kids who grew up with wolves, yes. I don't think the two are connected.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as werewolves, Carl.
You
believe me, I saw a documentary on it on the History Channel. You'd have loved it.
You grew up with a magpie. You know, you don't flap around, do you, and steal people's jewellery.
What was the thing you told me about snails?
Have you ever had any post that looks like it's been opened?
Occasionally, yeah.
Right. Well, what it is, it's not your postman having a
sneaky look.
A sneaky look. Problem is,
right,
slugs at night, they like nipping about and that, and it gets a bit cold. And in London, like in the country, they go into the grass, don't they?
Right.
But in London, it's like, oh, what can we do? And they go in letterboxes.
Slugs go in letterboxes.
Get in letterboxes. It's nice and warm in there, dry and what have you. And
these are homeless slugs, aren't they? The ones that have lost their shell.
When they're in there, they only found out that they love glue. They've been eating the glue off the stamps.
Right.
And people have been getting charged for post because it hasn't had stamps on it. It's like, well, they put a stamp on it. Yeah. It's like slugs have been eating it.
Sure.
And they also eat the glue that's on the actual envelope shutter. And it's a real popular problem, this, that letters are being lost and opened and all that stuff. Yeah. Slugs.
Are slugs like stealing postal orders and things and cashing them in and stuff?
Yeah, again, you know, if there's a doctor, if there's a postman.
Yeah.
Well, with us two expert witnesses, a doctor and a postman. So postage is a real problem.
When we see a slug's trail or a snail's trail,
it's glue.
That's the glue they've stolen, is it? That's a little.
I'm not going to say yes to that because I'm not sure.
But we could follow that trail and find them, and they'd have a big sort of
big pile of letters.
our stamps and
there they are.
like birthday cards for our aunts and stuff.
Yeah, but £2 notes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. Slugs. So, oysters and whiskey kill you, and slugs.
Be very
make you
careful if
post.
you're going to go out this evening. You're thinking of having a whiskey, maybe some oysters. Be very, very careful.
Yeah, and
Likewise,
if you are going to post a letter, please do not use tasty glue. Back to form there, Oasis, and Little by Little. This is XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais. Who are you?
my name's Steve Merchant. Good to see you.
Thanks. With us, the producer in the studio is Carl Pilton, and he'll be doing the buttons.
Yeah, you made a good effort there, but once again,
Got bored.
Words are your enemy, Rick, and they defeated you once again. Just run out of steam with the sentences.
Every week I think, well, I'm really going to make an effort now. I've chosen some records.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. That's as far as
Yeah.
it goes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe you should write out what you're going to say at the top of the show. Write that out. Get a nice
No,
big
that would
crayon.
be. I like to keep a little bit of,
A little bit of something, a little bit of spark,
Yeah.
a little bit of liveliness to it. Sure. How are you? Good to see you.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to.
It's great to be out of the house again.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just I was going to say, because we've been doing this for a long time now with a little break. But XFM are bringing new listeners all the time. I've heard 4 or 5 a week.
Really?
Yeah. New listeners
Wow,
tuned
man
in
alive.
to XFM 104.9.
Radio 1, beware.
Yeah, yeah, and we might take it for granted the people that know who we are, know who you are, know who Carl is.
Sure.
Now,
certainly.
if you're a regular, then you know exactly who we are. But for those of you who don't, I'm Ricky Gervais.
Ricky Gervais, a BAFTA award-winning actor and, and writer.
Steve Merchant, all those.
A friend of yours.
Yeah, yeah, and this is the important thing. Carl Pilkington.
Absolutely.
Our producer. I say producer, he was the bloke who was lumbered with a job. When I said, listen, I used to run the desk in the old days, I used to press the buttons and run the desk and everything, and now I said, listen, I've been on the telly, I do not press my own buttons. And Carl said, well, I don't really work weekends. And they went, well, you do if you want to keep your job.
Absolutely.
And we were lumbered with him. And then we discovered that he's not just a little dork, a little manky sort of idiot.
Sure,
He's got nice shirt. He's got, you know what I mean? He's got something else. He's got a
Absolutely, brings another dimension, yeah.
Yeah, and he started having a little chat, and we discovered that he
love
had
him.
quite a lot to say.
Well, I think you're absolutely right, and I think I was wondering maybe we should maybe play another tune, but after that, I just think we should re-familiarise our radio audience with
Yeah.
Carl, and any new listeners, just somehow going to let them get to know the real Carl again.
Well, if you are new, you'll find that we like some old songs, some new songs, some chitter-chat. We get serious sometimes, there's some
yeah.
tears and some laughter.
Yeah.
We kicked off with Oasis' new one, Little by Little. We're going to go back in time now to Iggy Pop and his Stooges with I'm Bored. Iggy Pop on board on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais.
Steve Merchant here as well.
Yeah, little Carl Pilkington. Well, to reintroduce or introduce people for the first time to Carl, I think we should have a...
Yeah, maybe sort of a quick Q&A, Carl, and we don't need sort of lengthy answers from you, we don't need lots of detail. It can be just a couple of sentences.
Just to get
To
a
answer his
flavour of who
question.
you are.
Yeah, so firstly, name obviously Carl Pilkington. Age, Carl?
I'll be 30 next month.
Really?
This month? No, next. Where are we?
I don't think we need to ask any more questions.
We've done it.
That's
I
it.
think we've
Welcome
done it
to the world of Carl Pilkington.
I think that, I thought it would take 3 or 4
I thought it was
questions
gonna be at least-
to really
yeah.
explain
That
what
was the
Carl
first
was
question.
about. Oh
Absolutely
God.
incredible. But we can't really leave it there because we haven't got enough else to do to fill up the 2 hours. So let's pursue this line of inquiry.
Yeah.
Age? What was the age, Carl? In a couple of months.
When were you born?
I'll be 72.
Right. What month? What day?
I'm on the cusp.
You're on the cusp of the day.
23rd of September.
Okay.
72.
So anyway, okay, right, good.
And you were talking there about obviously your star sign where you're on the cusp.
Yeah.
You believe in that, do you?
Nope.
You don't believe in star signs?
No, not really.
But you do believe in ghosts, I understand.
No, because the star
paranormal.
yeah, but the star sign thing, you've got how many different star signs are they?
12, isn't it?
Right? And then you've got like loads of people.
Yeah. You do the math.
So they're saying that, there's only 12 different sorts of people in the world.
Exactly. That's exactly right. It's made up. It's made up nonsense. It's non-science.
It's pseudoscience.
It's yes. It's it's hairy man and dyed hair woman science,
Yes.
isn't it?
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to you, Carl. Where were you born?
In Manchester.
Okay. What GCSE results did you get?
I got, was it an E? I got an E
You
in
got an E
history.
in history, and how did you find
discover
out that?
information?
You found out.
Because you thought you couldn't remember what you got, you didn't turn up, and you thought you'd done about 3, one of which wasn't history, and
I
actually,
knew I did art.
yeah, you didn't. I'm telling you didn't, because we checked.
Yeah.
You did 1. You turned up for history, you did history, you got an E
No,
in
I
history.
definitely did art. I made a little clay man.
Yeah, you got to register for O-levels. You don't just do it and then phone up and say, how was that? And I go,
I'm
"We
sending
don't."
you a clay man. See what you think. Send me a grade.
Yeah, there's forms to fill out and things like that, Carl.
Anyway,
Yeah, go on.
who was your closest childhood friend?
Closest. At what age?
Well, when you were young, when you were.
Oh, I remember this. It's a fella. So
Well,
is it someone making, isn't it?
Well, he wasn't really a close mate. Darren Buckley was me.
Darren Buckley.
Yeah.
He was my
Tell us
close
briefly
mate.
about Darren. I've forgotten about Darren.
He's the one who, all the girls liked him. He
Did they?
had permed hair. He used to have his hair like a footballer.
Sure.
His
Were you jealous of him? Were you
dad was a copper.
Did you hang around with Darren like in the hope of getting maybe his kind of cast-offs?
Nah, it's weird with me, and I wasn't that bothered about having loads of mates and that. I sort of, I had lots of mates, but I could do without them.
You had a magpie, didn't you?
I was,
mate?
happy, I was happy playing with my magpie.
Yeah, what happened to him?
It flew away.
Yeah.
But I wasn't bothered because it was giving me grief towards the end, wasn't it? It was popping me grifter tyres and that.
Yeah, sure.
Flying down, pecking me head.
Sure. Now, you went to school with a number of different interesting people. Some of whom
2
were
of which,
freaks.
I understand, had big heads and webbed toes.
Is that right?
Yet they were not related to each other, and they weren't friends with each other. Why weren't they friends with each other?
Because that'd be obvious.
Did they wear shoes, or did they walk around in their webbed?
Were they good at
feet?
swimming? Were they good at swimming?
I don't know. I don't think they ever went swimming.
Did they ever talk? Did they ever look over at each other and think,
Yeah, we should hang out more.
I told you something in the week as well. There was another lad at school had a pigeon chest.
Yeah, what?
Can we come back to this?
He had a pigeon
I think we
chest.
should play a record, Carl, because I think we've hooked them now.
Yeah.
I think
There's no one switching off now, Rick.
No, play a record. Blair, coffee and TV. Carl, I said it's not the best Blair song when it was playing. You know, I don't want to diss it, but you know, it's not the best one. I mean, that's
Absolutely
fact.
Sure.
You know, Carl went like a video though, a little milk carton.
Yeah.
Bit sad, it's tragic, isn't it? He went, this is all to himself, I'm not even joining in. And then he went, yeah, but it's alright at the end. He goes to heaven, he finds a little girl milk carton. Just lives out a little thing and is that like you on your paper round, that little milk carton, walking around like that? I imagine you. Oh, people don't know, but if you just tuned in, Carl had a paper round.
It's his favourite job ever.
And he maintains it's the best job he's ever had. Isn't it, Carl? Go on.
I don't know what's so weird about that.
It's a paper round.
Yeah, but forget
It's not the
all
most
that.
fulfilling of jobs.
Look at the way it works, right? You get it out of the way at the start of the day, so you got the rest of the day to yourself.
Just that's the same as signing on.
Your own boss. You know.
Same as signing on.
Well, you're not your own boss. The guy at the news agent's your boss.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
That's great.
You've proven me wrong there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Nah. Yeah. Nah, not really. Would that stand up in court? Where you were found with the dagger? Nah.
Was I?
when are we playing the new game?
Oh, Carl's got a new game. Carl's very excited. Oh,
But we were talking about something before we
Yeah,
did the
well,
record.
the freaks used to go. You had people with big heads, 2 web feet, didn't hang around each other. That would be too obvious. You had a fella with a pigeon chest.
Yeah, what's the story with the pigeon chest?
Don't know how it happened. It was like it looked like somebody had sort of hit him on the back with a big hammer, and it had come out at the front.
Yeah.
And I've never seen it since.
Could that have been the answer?
What? Why he had it?
Why had it? Possibly, I suppose, in your neck of the woods.
Yeah. Don't know. Never asked him.
It's just come back to haunt you, has it, the pigeon chest?
No, it's just that you know, when you mentioned about kids at school, I forgot all about him. You're talking about the kids with the web feet and the big heads.
Yeah.
and I forgot about the little old
The pigeon chest.
pigeon boy.
Yeah, pigeon.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I'm a big fan of that TV show. It's on digital TV. A lot of people won't have it, but Inside the Actor's Studio with James
Yeah.
Lipton.
Yeah.
And he interviews lots of big Hollywood stars, and he always asks them these same questions at the end. Can I just run a few of them past you?
Go on.
Okay. So, if you could do any other profession other than the one you do now, what profession would you do?
Can you just change that to apart from a paper round?
Apart from the paper round.
Oh.
You do any other
okay.
profession, Carl?
And it doesn't matter about like.
Doesn't matter if you've got the skills or anything. In an ideal world, if you had the ability.
Well, I think I'm about to buy somewhere, so I reckon something, you know, using tools and like doing a bit of plumbing and that.
So a plumber.
Well, sort of an all-rounder.
Right. A handyman.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you know you don't get paid that much, but it's useful, isn't it? So.
But you'd get your own show, couldn't you, with Carol Smiley eventually?
Well, all that, but the money that you don't make, you save by not having to pay someone else to do the chores. Do you know what I mean?
okay, I don't know what that sentence meant.
Right.
No.
A plumber. How much is the average plumber on?
The money you don't make, you save on not getting someone else to do it. No, just think of that. No, look, break that sentence down. Are there any...
Sorry, Rick. Sorry, but people who live in glass houses.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's just go back to Lipton quickly. We've got a couple to get through here. So, your favourite noise or sound? Favourite sound or noise?
Ooh,
Is it me?
no.
It's not me.
Hang on a minute.
It's not me. Are you sure it's not me, Carl?
All right, Elvis.
Noise.
Elvis.
Elvis.
In the ghetto.
The sound of Elvis.
Elvis in the Ghetto. Brilliant.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your least favourite noise or sound? I don't think it should really be records and music. Noises, things that you hear at home or whatever.
Maybe like a sound of a
The least favourite noise.
least favourite.
The sound of.
Probably like
The sound of ghosts.
fire engines and that.
Right.
That's annoying.
Except if your house was on fire, presumably.
I live on like a busy street and it's happening all the time, and it is like just sort of have a blast of it and people will hear it. You
Sure.
don't have to keep it going.
Yeah,
Sure. Sure.
So that is
Okay.
pretty annoying.
And if heaven exists, Carl, when you get to the pearly gates, what would you like God to say to you as he welcomes you into heaven? What would you like God to say to you?
Who asks these? What show's this?
It's a programme where celebrities are interviewed by a guy, an American interviewer, and he always asks these questions at the very end.
What would I say to God?
What would you say to
what-
God?
what-
Where, if you believed in heaven, and if heaven exists, when you eventually go up to heaven and you're welcomed in through the gates
In
by
your
God,
parker and your stussy t-shirt and your...
what do you want God to say to you as he welcomes you in?
Say, you alright? Don't know, just be friendly.
That's the reindeer section.
Beautiful.
Yeah, nice stuff. It's a kind of Scottish supergroup. Lots of different artists from
Ben and
Scottish
Sebastian
bands.
have got to be involved. Is it a lead singer from them?
It may well be, yeah, on that particular track. Different people, Mull Historical Society, Idlewild, Teenage Fan Club, different people from all those bands get together with a guy called Gary Lightbody from Snow Patrol, and he writes
And
the
all
tunes.
that on XFM 104.9, Steve.
Absolutely. Let me just name that track. That track was Grand Parade from their current album, Son of Evil Reindeer.
Feeder. Come back around on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais. But who are you?
Oh, thanks for asking, Rick. Steve Merchant.
With us, Carl Pilverton. Well, Carl, now I know I shouldn't, but I met Carl in the week again,
I
Steve.
told you shouldn't do
I
this.
know,
You know, you should
but
wait
then when
till the weekend.
he starts saying things like, "Oh, is this lad with a pig?" I go, "No, save it," and we just sit there. and I'm scared to talk in case he goes. But you did tell me a couple of little things, didn't you? True stories that that I mean I enjoy. Can you tell Stephen about the doctor?
Right.
Oh, God.
No,
Is this something that happened to a friend of yours, or is this...
I read about it.
You read about it? Okay.
There's this little lad, right?
Okay.
First of all, it's years ago, right? When
Right, old times.
they didn't have decent doctors in like every town and that.
Yeah.
And this little kid is dead ill, right?
Yeah.
And the local doctor.
Well, there's a phone call involved, so I don't
Yeah,
really
well, let
get
me
the
get to
impression
it.
that it's like medieval
times.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't say that. I just said it's years ago.
Go on
So
then.
this kid's ill, right?
Yeah.
And he's lying in the bed, and he's all going funny colour and that.
Yeah.
And his mum says, "I'm going to get the local doctor round." The local doctor comes round, and he says, "Oh, so I don't know what's up with him." He said, "Leave it with me.
Leave it with me.
He
Well, the doctor said that.
I'll have he said I'll phone up a top doctor
Okay.
who was in America or something like that. And so he goes to the phone in his office and he calls America, and because it's years ago, the phone line isn't that good, it's all crackly and that, right? So he's talking to the doctor and he's saying, I've got this kid, he's a funny colour, and you know, he's really weak and that. I don't know what's
He's
up
not
with him.
giving him much to go on.
Right?
Sure.
So so the American doctor, right?
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, what you want to do? And it's all breaking up, right? He goes,